Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. On this page, I talk about technology and money. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for checking out my channel. And if you're returning, welcome again. If you are either new or returning, please do like and share the video. Like and sharing the video does two things. Number one, it helps this content reach more people, so you're adding value. And then number two, it encourages me to continue creating content that you all find helpful. So before I get into tonight's topic, did you have a good day? How are you feeling? Have you taken a moment to just like stop and just kind of stop and breathe, have like a woosah moment? I know I have to do that from time to time because life can just kind of get away from you. So however you're feeling when you find this video, I hope you had a good day. So today, with episode 5, The Gilded Age, y'all, charity starts at home. That's what I'm calling tonight's episode, or episode 5. So clearly there's going to be some spoiler alerts if you haven't seen episode 5 yet. So last week I did a video, and I'll try to link it up here at some point in YouTube, on money lessons from the Gilded Age, and I've started watching. I am a sucker for period pieces. I talked about that last week, and the show is it's a drama, but I have picked up on every episode. I have picked up on key money lessons. Okay, and tonight's episode 5, today's episode, or the most recent episode, is no exception. So let's talk about it. Are y'all watching it? Okay, if you are, feel free to leave a comment below. You can also message me. I'll leave my contact information. So there was a lot happening in tonight's episode. Okay, hence the line I said, like, charity starts at home. So when I said last week, or when I did money lessons for episode 1 through 4. I don't know if Julian Fellows intended this show to have money lessons, but I'm just continuing to pick up money lessons almost from every character, okay? Because I'm only going to talk about a few characters, but there's a money lesson in almost every character. All right, so let's start with my good sis. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Y'all just bear with me. I'm getting better at it though. I feel like I'm getting better at sharing my screen. Okay. So yeah, so let's start with my good sis Peggy. Okay, so I'm just gonna say it, y'all. I'm just gonna say it. As this episode was unfolding and I'm watching Peggy, y'all, I think Peggy has a secret baby. I think in episode 1, when Peggy and Marion connected on the train platform and all of that, I think Peggy was coming back from having a baby. Now, why do I say that? Okay. I say that because, okay, so in this episode, this is all about where Marion and Mrs. Russell and the gang, they take a trip up to Dansville, New York, to see Clara Barton speak on the chair. And I want to talk about Clara Barton here in a moment. But Peggy shares a story with Marion about a young man that who worked in her dad's pharmacy, in Peggy's dad's pharmacy, and her dad didn't approve, and she just got really sad. And it was in a situation where Marion almost got swept off her feet by Tom Rakes, who I do not like. I don't like Tom Rakes. I'm going to talk about him next. But as I was sitting there listening, and it was just something about Peggy, I was like, "Ooh, y'all, I think Peggy got a secret baby," but we'll see. Anyway, all right, so Peggy, her career starting to pick up. She is ambitious. She's continuing to work on her writing. We see her talk through like her first, she has her first article published. She's writing for the African American newspaper, The Globe. she's a Black woman who she has vision. She is strategic. She's making her own way. And I think Aunt Agnes sees Peggy, right? I think Aunt Agnes, when I say sees Peggy, I think Aunt Agnes, uh, saw Peggy and was willing to take a chance on her, because I think she sees how ambitious and how practical Peggy is. We do see in this episode where Peggy is experiencing microaggressions, which is interesting for it to be the late 1800s, considering what else was happening in the United States at that time. They are in New York, but we see Peggy experiencing microaggressions with her work from Mrs. Fain and Mrs. Morris. But that continues to happen today in the current ages. But anyway, so the money lesson I got from Peggy in this episode is she's just continuing to make her own way, and she knows how important it is to have provisions for herself, to make her own way and not have to rely on her family's money, because clearly her family has money. Okay, her dad owns a pharmacy. We saw her parents nice brownstone in Brooklyn. They have servants and everything, but Peggy understands that even though her family has money, there's a lot of value in making sure that you have provisions for yourself. And we see more of that in this episode, Peggy taking initiative and, not being afraid to speak up and taking an opportunity when she has it. So, but again, I think Peggy has the secret baby, and we'll see if I'm right in a later episode. I want to talk about it. All right. So time breaks, y'all. Okay. Y'all, listen, I don't trust Tom Rakes. I do not trust him. He moves too fast. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Rakes took Marion's dad's money, because it was Tom Rakes who broke the news to Marion that her father's estate had no money, only had $35. And then all of a sudden she goes to New York, and then he pops up in New York a couple of weeks later or a couple of months later, however the time frame is. I don't know. Tom Rakes is very much given social climber, which Mrs. Russell is a social climber. A couple of other ones are, but something about Tom Rakes is not right. I don't trust him. Okay. I feel like he's going for the woman with the biggest bag. He saw me because Marion is she's a sweet girl. I feel like she has good intentions, but she's just a little bit green on, the shady practices of people. But I don't trust Tom Rakes, and I wouldn't be surprised if it came out in a later episode where he either took money or his intentions on, his social climate and looking for the woman with the biggest bag is going to come out. And I think I don't know if Peggy really sees Tom Rakes for who he is, but I think Aunt Agnes sees Tom Rakes for who he is. So the money lesson that I'm picking up with Tom Rakes, and it really just came forth to me in this episode, especially after he books the hotel, right? He books a hotel for them to go out of town to see Clara Barton speak. And, he walks into her room. Now, he knows Marion is a respectable lady from a respectable family. And when he was kissing kissing Marion in the hallway, I was like, where is Peggy? I saw it coming. Here comes Peggy. Peggy popped up. But I think his intentions were to either sleep with Marion, get her pregnant, or just ruin her reputation. I just don't trust him. So the money lesson with Tom Rakes is single women then and even now, you really have to be diligent in all ways of managing your money and managing your relationship, not only your relationships with yourself, but also the relationship with your friends and the people around you, because it's really easy to get caught up, and you can get caught up very quickly. And we see that in the trip that Marion and Mrs. Russell and the crew takes to New York, which was all, in partly orchestrated by Tom Rakes, but I don't trust him. Okay, moving on to Archie Baldwin. Oh, bless his heart. Okay, so I couldn't find like a period piece of Archie Baldwin, the actor who plays Archie Baldwin in this week's episode. So I think Archie Baldwin, I think he really liked Gladys. I think he really cared for her, Gladys Russell, and it's clear that she cares for him. However, Mrs. Russell has other plans, ideas. She really wants the best for her daughter. And that goes back to what I was saying at the beginning, where, charity starts at home. And some of the money lessons, a couple of the money lessons I picked up were Archie Baldwin and what Mrs. Russell is intending to do with her daughter Gladys, ensuring, not only that Gladys, marries a respectable young man, but ensuring that her daughter has the best match and is able to provide the absolute ultimate best for her future, right? Because one thing Boss Bertha understands is it's not just about love. It's also about having provisions as a woman and making sure that you're set. Okay. So the money lesson, I'm conflicted. I really like Archie Baldwin. And we can see with George Russell, because, he loves his wife so much, he's honoring her wish for a better match for Gladys. So George orchestrates it, helps Archie get a really lucrative investment banker, investment broker deal if he will leave Gladys alone. So I see where Mrs. Russell is playing the long game, and Gladys doesn't see it yet, but I see how it could really work in her favor. If she does not, she being Gladys doesn't rebel first, because I have a feeling she's going to find out what her mama did. Yeah, child, let me talk about y'all homegirl. Let me talk about y'all homegirl here, Turner. I don't like her. And I don't trust her, flat out. Okay, so the money lesson here that I got from Turner in this episode is, y'all homegirl Turner would do something strange for some change. I just don't trust her. Okay, so clearly she can be bought. We already know she's wanting to be, she's going after George Russell to be his mistress and set herself. And I see she's trying to make provisions for herself, but she's hooking up now with Oscar Van Ryn to help him, I guess, get in good with Gladys and the Russells and things. But I don't like Turner. I think it's all gonna backfire on her, and especially once Boss Bertha finds out, I have a feeling it's just not gonna work out good for her at all. And then let's see. Okay. So here's the interesting thing. So here's the actress that's so Clara Barton. We can see in this episode where the charitable donations that the Russells are making into the Red Cross can ultimately end up being beneficial. And I'm not going to give that spoiler at the very end if you haven't watched the episode yet. But so Clara Barton, she's in the process of establishing Red Cross chapters. She's already established one with some charitable donations from the Russells. She's able to establish like 3 Red Cross hubs chapters, and we can see the benefactors touring with Clara Barton in one of the, looks like a hospital, and being intended to with some nurses and hospital staff. But the money lesson that I got from how we see Clara Barton in the Red Cross playing out is it takes money to successfully establish, maintain, and run a charity. I just, you know that, but I didn't know that, and just kind of see the mechanisms and how it's established. So Clara Barton, it's clear that she realizes that she has to work the system. She understands that it takes relationships. It takes people with money. It takes the right type of strategic moves to achieve what she's trying to do through the Red Cross. It takes charisma. It takes building relationships with different types of people. And we see that in her interactions with Peggy, especially when she finds out that Peggy writes for the African American newspaper, right? And you can think how a good article from Peggy in that newspaper on the Red Cross, how far that can go on Clara Barton and the Red Cross's behalf. And it's clear that Clara Barton, she understands that. She knows that you have to get people to like you, to build those relationships in order to get them to invest in you. And we see that when she talks about, she brings up Mrs. Chamberlain at dinner. She was like, I know Mrs. Chamberlain, y'all don't rock with Miss Chamberlain like that, but Miss Chamberlain got that bag and my organization needs that bag. She don't say it like that, but you get the picture. I know Miss Chamberlain got that bag and my organization need money. I want to talk to her. So she gets it. So yeah, y'all, that's episode 5. I called it Charity Starts at Home, but I'm sure there's an official title for this episode. I can talk a little bit more, like on some things I picked up on, like the Van Ryn's housemaid, when she went to go see her mama. I'll maybe save that for another episode, because clearly sis is going through it, and maybe that's why she has looks like her mom is kind of toxic. Y'all know who I'm talking about, and that may be why she is so she's so sour. But that's it. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Are y'all watching the Gilded Age? What do you think? Okay, leave a comment below, like and share this video. Thank you for watching, and you know what? I'll see you in the next video.